Alright, Summit Point Short. Track guides, setups in the description. Track's 42, so it's on the cool side. I've seen it as high as 51, so take that into account. This track, not so punishing on cold tires, but obviously they're still cold tires. Lap 3 they start to hook up, but I really find lap 10 is when everything really starts to get locked in. You don't have as much understeer or oversteer, so keep that in mind. Shout out to Paul, new subscriber. If you save some time, hit the like button. If you want to beat your friends, hit the subscribe button. So we'll go through the laps here in slow-mo and then run it out at full speed. So going into turn 1, in 5th gear, normally I like to minimize the gear shifts as much as you can, but for this track or for this turn, I like to go up into 5th. You can leave it in 4th, but I find 5th is more comfortable for me. So 5th gear, looking for this second set of white lines here. Really not great brake markers here other than these lines in the Marshall box, and I'm looking to brake about 2 car lengths past that line. And the reason I go into 5th is I find the cadence of going down through the gears into 1st gets you to the apex at the right time, at the right speed. When I'm in 4th, I find I come in a little too hot or a little too slow, so that's why I like to do it in 5th. So shifting down into 1st, and then turning in to this cement repair patch. It's getting repaired because everyone uses it, and you want to take it all, and you can just nick this grass on the right without getting an X, but if you take any more than I did, you will probably get an X. And then keeping it a pretty tight line, just unwinding the wheel, working up into 2nd, into 3rd, into 4th, and just basically, if you see at this point, just trying to straight line it through all these corners here as much as possible. On cold tires, you just have to go through that turn 1 with a little more brake, a little easier on the power. In 4th gear, getting to the left side here, and basically kind of looking for the sort of the kink here, leaving it in 4th. Again, you could go up into 5th, but I like to keep it in 4th. When the tires are cold, you're probably going to have to lift on entry. I could have probably not lifted here, but I did. The important thing is just keep the car steady and set up for this next turn, getting on the power again. And you don't want to get over to the right too far. I could even be a little bit more left, and then basically using this tree as sort of the braking marker. You can brake a little deeper than that as well, depending on how comfortable you are with the brakes. But shifting down into 1st, and then using this little trail here as sort of the turn-in point. You want to be at 1st gear at that point, and just getting off the throttle, picking it up in 1st gear, easing it on when the tires are cold, really easing it on. You can see this is kind of a downhill bit of a section, so if you get on the power too early, it's really easy to lose your back end. So just, especially cold tires, be real gentle with the throttle. Make sure you slowed the car down enough. So picking it up in 1st gear, shifting up into 2nd, and just getting yourself over to the left. Now, this is a little bit of a tricky spot. I like to be in 2nd gear. You could hold it in 1st, but I like to be in 2nd. Again, just because I don't want to use the brakes really. Shifting down into 1st actually slows the car down enough. And if you can, if you're comfortable, you do want to just use a little bit of the grass here. Just cross this white line. You don't want to go any more than what I've done because you do get the X for sure. If you want to stay safe, then don't get over that line. It won't cost you too much time, but if you can get just a little bit of this grass, it opens up the corner. So shifting down from second into first, and then basically just kind of following this cement repair area here and holding the line pretty tight, working up into second gear and unwinding it, not all the way over to the left, sort of mid-track, and then turning in tight here to set up for the next corner. Through this whole section, when the tires are cold, there'll be a little bit more lifting, just on the first 3 laps. But once the tires are warm, once the car has really lost some fuel, you can do this full throttle. And into third gear, and you want to just nick this curb and a little bit of the grass even. Again, don't take more grass than that, otherwise you do get the X. And shifting up into fourth, probably around here somewhere. Again, on cold tires, this is probably a lift on entry, but once everything's heated up, just aiming for that apex. And it's important this turn is cambered, and you really got to get into the camber. You don't really want to get on the curb so much. It won't hurt you if you do, but it's quicker if you just go right up to the edge. Fourth gear, if you're out here, if you're going too wide or something, you're gonna have to lift and just let the guy through, because you're gonna run wide into that sand and your race is probably over. Or I guess there's no sand, but you'll hit the grass and it'll be a bad day. So fourth gear. I like to leave it in fourth. That last corner, it's really important to get a good run out of it, so don't overcook it into this one. You can go up into fifth gear, but again, I like to leave it in fourth. It just makes this more consistent. And then looking for the sandy patch here and braking just a car length or so before it. You can carry more speed into this corner, but you sacrifice the exit speed, which is probably going to hurt you, especially if there's a car behind you, or you're trying to catch the car in front of you. So braking a little early, just to get the car slowed down and get the turn in, and then you can see already off the brakes and on the throttle already. And that's the important part. That's where you're going to get a really good exit into this straight, because it's important. This is probably the best passing opportunity area. So make sure you get a good run out of there. The other thing is this sandy patch that I use. It is obviously, if there's a car in front of you, you're not going to be able to see it probably all that well. So depending if you're using VR or triple screens or wides or a single, kind of mark one of these things on the right to see where that sandy patch is for your field of view, and figure out where you want to be on the brakes, because this corner is really important. Getting on the power, using all of the curb and the cement track. You can even get your tire a little on the edge of this sand. Not ideal, but it won't hurt you too bad. But if you get a full tire into there, you will get the X, and then it will also slow you down as well. And that is a short lap on the short Summit Point track. So yeah, 1:03.5. So hopefully that helps you out, shaves a little time off your lap time, and good luck out there. We will see you next time.